My name is Rosemary, and my life in the beginning was not easy as my parents came to the U.S. and there was an economic struggle in 2007 to 2008. I came unexpectedly to my parents in 2007 and I lived in an apartment complex. Back then, my parents sometimes struggled to make ends meet, and being a little kid, I felt alone, so I begged my parents for a little brother. And just before I turned 5, I had him. It was the most marvelous day of my life, and a year later, we moved to a trailer I call home. When I was young, I thought that school was so fun that I didn't care much about my grades. But there was a challenging point in my life, so I decided to make a better change for myself. In middle school, I started pushing myself for better grades and got inspiration and motivation from my friends and family. High school was around the corner, and I didn't know if I wanted to join ECHS since I was afraid that I was not going to get accepted and lose my friends. Once I got a call that I got accepted, I was overjoyed because I knew it would change my life completely. This was a new beginning of a new chapter of my life. Throughout my high school journey, the most significant community service I have experienced was when I had the opportunity to sell hot cocoa at my school, and this was during my freshman year. On every Friday, I met up with my advisor, and on one particular Friday, my advisor told us that we had an opportunity to help our community in any way we wanted. With my first year at early college, it was an opportunity to meet new people, talking to others, and making new friends. The sale was a great success, making a profit of $635. If everything goes well, I would like to get my driver's license my senior year so that I won't depend on other people to pick me up from any after school activity I am participating in, and so that I can help my community. I used to drive on the road and I felt confident that I planned to get my permit, but I was involved in an accident in April of last year, and even though I was not the one driving, I was still in shock that I didn't want to get inside of the car. With this experience, I have learned that I still need to keep going with or without fear. Right now, I am driving back on the road and I am slowly losing the fear I once had. An accomplishment outside of school that I am most proud of is when I turned 15 because I celebrated my quinceañera. This was a new chapter of my life that I will never forget and therefore I am most grateful. When I was little, I was dreaming for this day and I used my imagination to plan out this big day, making drawings of my future dresses and even including my mom. But when my birthday was near, I didn't want to celebrate it since I don't like parties. And at the last minute, a week before my birthday, me and my mom got a dress and I even celebrated it twice. The first one was at a restaurant and I invited my neighbors that I consider close family and it was something small but it was the thought that counts. And the second one was at my church because my mom told me that there were members that wanted to plan a party from the bottom of their heart and they wanted to know if my response was going to be a yes or a no. Hearing this, since I didn't want to reject the desire they wanted to give me, I said yes. And I was thankful that I celebrated it because I learned that it's not every day that I get to turn 15, and overall, you don't get to live life the same a second time because you can only live life once. National Honor Society was the most significant to me because not everyone gets to join since you have to fill out a form to see if you meet certain requirements like community service hours, GPA, and much more. I was lucky enough to meet the requirements and I added lots of detail. Even though we didn't get our plan out to the public, which was a yard sale this year, I am still proud that we might get to do it next year. But on the other side, the hygiene drive was able to get the idea out and put some boxes out to the public. After high school, I'm going to continue at Tech and become a dental hygienist. Ever since I was little, I felt awe and inspiration from them. A reason was because I liked the way they did their job, but as a little girl, I was overwhelmed by the many options I could take as a career. Some days I felt like becoming an architect, and other days I felt like becoming a registered nurse. But one day I realized that I wanted to do something in help since I like helping others, so I decided I wanted to become a dental hygienist. While doing some in-depth research about this job, I felt like it was the best job for me since I felt the most connected to it since I was little. And even though I have been indecisive my whole life, I feel confident that this is the right choice for me. and now that I am older, I get to make the next step to become one. Educationally, I have been working so hard for many years, and I am planning to maintain it this way for the many years to come. Even though my journey was not easy, I won't let anything stop me from the potential I have in me.